We live in the age of the 24-hour news cycle. Satellites track our every move, and we know what happens on the other side of the planet in seconds. But imagine it's 300 BCE, no phones, no electricity. How did an emperor in Pataliputra know about a secret revolt brewing 2,000 miles away before it even started? Ancient India didn't just survive without technology, it mastered the art of information. Using psychology, secret networks, and even herbal chemistry, they built a global intelligence system that would make modern agencies blush. Today, we are uncovering the 5 ancient Indian hacks to stay informed. Stick around, because the invisible ink trick at the end is something you can still try today. In the Arthashastra, Chanakya wrote that a king is only as strong as his eyes. He called them the Guda Purusha. They were divided into 2 terrifyingly effective categories. First, the Samsthan. These were stationary agents, the local grocer or the priest who lived in a city for decades. They were the human microphones of the neighborhood. Then the Sanchar. These were wandering masters of disguise, acrobats, students, or even fortune tellers. They moved between kingdoms, gathering the pulse. They didn't just report on military moves, they reported on public mood. To stay informed, the ancients didn't wait for news. They embedded themselves where news was born. While Chanakya focused on secrets, Emperor Ashoka focused on the people's truth. He created the Pativedakas. These informants had a golden pass. They were allowed to report to the king at any time, whether he was eating, in his private quarters, or even sleeping. If the public was unhappy or a border was threatened, the king had to know now. By keeping the door open to the lowest level of society, Ashoka ensured he never lived in a royal bubble. He stayed informed by staying accessible. News in the ancient world moved at the speed of a camel, but India was the world's information hub. Every merchant caravan was a walking newspaper. When a trader from Ujjain met a merchant from Rome in a sarai, a roadside inn, they exchanged more than pepper and silk. They exchanged data, foreign wars, currency changes, and political coups. Indian kings often gave tax breaks to informed merchants, just to ensure the palace received the latest international world news report first. If merchants were the commercial news, monks were the diplomatic news. Because monks were seen as neutral, they could cross borders that armies couldn't. Universities like Nalanda weren't just schools, they were international intelligence centers. Scholars from China, Tibet, and Greece brought books and political insights. When the monk Xuanzang traveled from China, his journals became the most important intelligence document of the century. This sacred network meant the religious community was often better informed than the generals. Finally, how did they send this info safely? They used Kautilyan cryptography. Spies used juice from the Saptaparna tree or citrus extracts to write on silk or palm leaves. The liquid dried clear. To a guard, it was a blank sheet. But when the recipient heated it or applied a specific mineral wash, the message appeared. They also used market code. A message about buying 100 sacks of grain was actually a coded warning that 100 enemy ships were spotted at the coast. We have more data than ever. But are we truly informed? The ancient Indian hacks weren't about more info. They were about filtering it through human psychology and diverse sources. In a world of algorithm bubbles, maybe we need to look back at the Guda Purusha. If you want to master the wisdom of the past, hit that subscribe button. Next, we're looking at the psychological warfare of ancient Indian kings. You don't want to miss it.